Let's talk about how you can tell when a woman is not truly appreciating you as a good, solid, loving, protecting, providing, and prophesying man. And I want to say this clearly. This is not about ego. This is not about a man needing to be worshiped. This is not about control. This is about recognition, respect, emotional safety, and partnership. Because a good man does not just show up with words. A good man shows up with consistency. He protects, he provides, he prays, he plans, he sacrifices, he thinks ahead. He tries to cover the household, not just physically, but mentally, spiritually, emotionally, and financially. And when a woman does not appreciate that, you can feel it. You can tell when your effort becomes expected instead of valued. You can tell when she remembers every mistake you made, but forgets every sacrifice you made. You can tell when your provision is accepted, but your pain is ignored. You can tell when she wants your protection, but rejects your leadership. You can tell when she benefits from your love, your discipline, your vision, your structure, and your sacrifice, but still talks to you like you are not enough. And let's be honest, some women are so committed to being independent that they do not know how to be in partnership. They got their own money. They got a nice job. They pay their own rent. They pay their own bills. They got a car. They take care of themselves. And all of that is respectable. There is nothing wrong with a woman having her life together. A man should not be intimidated by a woman who works hard, handles her responsibilities, and brings something to the table. But there is a difference between being responsible and being resistant. There is a difference between being independent and being emotionally unavailable. There is a difference between having your own and acting like because you have your own, you do not have to honor the man in your life. That is where the attitude becomes a problem. Because some women say they want a relationship with a man, but their spirit says, I do not really need you. They say they want love, but their attitude says, you are lucky I am even dealing with you. They say they want leadership, but every time a man offers direction, correction, vision, or structure, they treat it like disrespect. They say they want a provider, but when a man provides, they act like it is nothing because they are used to doing everything themselves. They say they want protection, but when a man tries to protect the relationship, protect the household, protect the vision, or protect the future, they call it control. That is when something is off. Because if you are so independent that you cannot receive love, you are not ready for partnership. If you are so used to paying your own bills that you cannot say thank you when a man sacrifices, you are not ready for partnership. If you are so used to carrying everything alone that you reject every hand trying to help you, you are not ready for partnership. If every good thing a man does is met with attitude, sarcasm, criticism, or silence, then he is not being appreciated. He is being tolerated. And no good man wants to feel tolerated in a relationship he is trying to build. A good man wants to be seen. He wants to know that the woman beside him recognizes his heart, his effort, his pressure, and his potential. He wants to know that when he is building, she is not standing on the sideline criticizing every brick. He wants to know that when he is speaking vision, speaking faith, speaking future, and prophesying over the family, she is not killing the dream with doubt, disrespect, sarcasm, and comparison. Because some women do not realize that a man can be strong and still be tired. A man can be a protector and still need peace. A man can be a provider and still need encouragement. A man can be a leader and still need love. A man can be prophetic and still need someone who believes before the breakthrough comes. One of the clearest signs that a woman does not appreciate a good man is when she only measures him by what he has not done yet, instead of honoring what he is already doing. She may say, you are supposed to do that. But appreciation says, I see you. She may say, that is what a man should do. But love says, thank you for showing up. She may say, I got my own. But partnership says, I have my own, but I still know how to value what you bring. She may say, I do not need a man, but marriage does not grow in the soil of I do not need you. Marriage grows in the soil of I choose you. Because a woman can have her own money and still have humility. She can have her own job and still have softness. She can pay her own bills and still show gratitude. She can be strong and still be respectful. She can be independent and still understand partnership. That is maturity. But when a woman does not appreciate you, she will make you feel like your best is invisible. She will drain your spirit and still demand more energy. She will benefit from your loyalty but question your value. She will enjoy your protection but resist your wisdom. She will want the fruit of your manhood while dishonoring the root of your manhood. And that is when a man has to pause and ask himself, am I being loved or am I being used? Am I being respected or simply tolerated? Am I building with someone who sees me or am I trying to prove myself to someone committed to misunderstanding me? Because a good man should not have to beg to be appreciated. Now, this does not mean a man is perfect. A man still has to listen. He still has to grow. He still has to be accountable. He still has to make sure his leadership is not control, his protection is not possession, and his provision is not being used as a weapon. But if he is truly loving, protecting, providing, praying, planning, sacrificing, and speaking vision over the future, then he deserves a woman who can recognize that. Not just after he wins. Not just after the money comes. Not just after the house is built. Not just after the dream becomes visible to everybody else, but while he is still working, while he is still sacrificing, while he is still fighting through pressure, while he is still becoming. Because a prophesying man does not just see what is, he sees what can be. And if a woman cannot respect the vision while it is still in seed form, she may not be qualified to enjoy the harvest. So men, pay attention. Not with bitterness, not with hatred, not with revenge in your heart, but with wisdom. Watch how she responds to your effort. Watch how she speaks when you are under pressure. Watch whether she brings peace or constant resistance. Watch whether she honors your presence or only notices your absence. Watch whether she believes in your future or only criticizes your current position. Watch whether her independence has made her stronger or whether it has made her unable to receive love. Because the right woman will not make a good man feel like a burden for being human. She will understand that even strong men need covering. Even leaders need love. Even providers need prayer. Even protectors need peace. And even prophesying men need someone beside them who can believe before the breakthrough. That is the difference between a woman who wants what you can do and a woman who values who you are. And a good man has to know the difference.